everybody. Who's all's wearing green with me? I see Donna is, Mia, Sherry's got some earrings. I know Renee. Hey, welcome to our Tuesday night team training. It is St. Patrick's Day, obviously, today. And I think most of you probably know this, but tonight is going to be our last Tuesday night team training as we know it. We are um, working hard behind the scenes, uh, looking at making a shift in a few things. We're super excited about it. So just stay tuned, be patient, give us grace while we figure it all out. But we're really excited about it. So we will give you little bits and pieces as we roll it out. Okay. So for now, we're going to set aside our Tuesday night team trainings. We still have the Monday motivational calls that are just filled with stories. So please tune into those. We've got the replays always for you to listen to. So tonight's topic is one of the best. It's all about launching a new consultant. And I don't know, if all of you realize this, but getting a new consultant off on the right foot is actually a skill, right? There's only 7 skills really to our business, right? 7 skills of network marketing if you haven't read GoPro. But launching a new consultant is one of them. So don't feel bad if you don't know what to do or you're a little worried. Like reach out to your support team and they will help you. It's always a great idea to meet your upline anyway, and so we can welcome them. And we've got a step by step to launch a new consultant. So I'm just going to show you a couple things, a couple of resources to look at, and then I'm going to throw it over to Miss Sherry Martin to bring on a couple guests, one of our newest SC1s that was just launched, and they're going to just share the story of how she did it. So let me share my screen and. Hopefully, you guys have all seen this. We've had it for a while. It's called the Why and the Work Plan. And and for Maurice's team, if you haven't seen this, I'm happy to share it with you. And then you can put, your team name on there if you like this. But, when a new consultant gets started, we really need to know where they're at. And they might not even know like why they said yes. I'm going to just read through this real quick. But this says like, let's look ahead. You want to sit down with your new consultant and go over this with them. Let's look ahead at the next few months so we can understand what your vision is and how your support team can best serve you. So, your why, like what made you say yes to this opportunity? I'd love to hear that. Why did you come in as a consultant instead of just staying a customer? And what do you want this business to do for your life in the next 12 months? If you don't work this business or make any changes in the next 12 months, what does that look like for you, right? If you just kind of sit on this and just order your products and not talk to anybody about it and not try to build your business, what does your life look like in 12 months? Do you want it to look differently? What pain point are you most excited to shift? For example, time, freedom, income, purpose, community. Who do you want to impact through this business? And then the second part of this is, the goals. Let's look at the next 90 days, 5 years from now, and then kind of the time you're going to give, who's going to be in your corner cheering you on, like what might try to sabotage your success. And, then talking about like the first step would be to senior consultant one in 90 days. And, you get different bonuses if you hit that. You will feel more belief. You're going to have, consultants perhaps, but customers to get to SC1. They're going to be on the products. You're going to have your own personal testimonials with them. It builds your belief up. So isn't this a beautiful way to just get a new consultant started, kind of figure out where they're at so you can best serve them? Like, how can I best communicate with you? A text? Do you want me to call you? Can I remind you of your why if you kind of go, silent on me for a while? Like all of the things, right? So the second piece to this is, so what I'm doing, you guys, is the Team Vitality Telegram chat and in our Facebook group is you can find this. The second piece is the onboarding. checklist. So it's just a one page checklist to SC1. It's like, let's put the blinders on and just go over the important things that you need to be doing to get to SC1, right? There's a lot of noise out there, a lot of things going on. Let's just get you to SC1. So this is just kind of a checklist to get there. Super simple, not complicated. And again, the blinders on. So I am going to stop sharing now. And Sherry, you've got a couple of people on your team
Yes.
rocking and rolling and launching. So I'm going to
Yay.
just roll it out to Sherry Martin to finish it off.
Thanks, Christy. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Said my internet was unstable. Okay. Welcome everyone. So I'm excited for this to kind of be not the last training, but something to kind of give you for food for thought. So, I just want to say we're not pulling up slides tonight because we just went through them. And I thought that this would be a really fun way to almost do a panel like. I think everyone wants to hear stories. So, I just want to reiterate this because before I bring on our guest, I just want to make sure that we all know that people join for different reasons, right? So some of them are looking for a community, some of them want extra money, some of them are just looking for solutions, right, to the problems that their friends or their clients are having. And that's why I'm excited tonight because Holly and I did not take a checklist out when we enrolled Miss Renee. We're going to bring her on in a minute. But I am excited for this tonight because Renee, that's what she wanted. She wasn't looking really to make more money or anything like that. I'm going to let her share her story. And before I turn it over and ask my first question, I want to say this. For those of you that know, I've been with LifeVantage for almost 9 years. And this is probably my 20th esthetician. When the Healthy Glow stat came out, I pounded the pavement. I went out there and ordered books and did all the things, and everyone said yes. And this is how many people did something. I'm not even kidding you. So it's not that we were doing it wrong per se. It was, in my opinion, they just weren't ready, right? So when I share this with you guys tonight, I want you to know that there was a lot of pieces to this story that made it extremely successful. Okay. So we're going to open up the call. I'm going to bring Holly and Miss Renee on. And first, I want to just say thank you for being here. I know you are very busy, Renee and Holly, both of you guys. So to be here tonight to just pour into the team, I want to say thank you for that. So Holly, I would love for you, to kind of just share because this was not a warm market for you. Okay. So I want to touch on a few of those things. So share with everyone how we found Renee. And then once you share that, I'm going to have Renee share her part of her story. So go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I've been with LifeVantage for 2 years, and I have brought on a lot of consultants through my tenure. And what I've realized in the last maybe 6 months or so, as this business has peaks and valleys, I've really been praying for somebody that sees our vision and sees what we have in front of us in regards to products. But with that being said, I think that we go through these phases as consultants. We get really excited, we try the products, they work, we share it with people that we have relationships with, and then we kind of build, and then all of a sudden, we start kind of running out of those people. And what I realize is that it's all about the relationships that you build and the integrity that people trust in you in order to buy products. I mean, that is so key when you don't have those relationships that you have, like with your family, your friends, close colleagues, and so forth. So that's really a key part because it takes time to build that relationship. So I really believe in divine intervention. And Renee had, and she'll share her story, but she had some of her own health issues, and she ran into a mutual friend of mine, husband and wife, and was like, "What are you guys doing? You look amazing." And then they shared this Healthy Glow collagen with Renee and said, "You need to get in touch with Holly." And that's how it kind of began. And what's funny is that over probably about a 60 or 90 day period, when I found out that she was an esthetician, I really was like, wow, you need to upgrade. But for her, in this industry, she gets so many people that reach out to her with products. It was very important for her to know whether it worked. And with that being said, I want to turn it over to Renee to share her why and her experience with coming on board with LifeVantage and the beginning.
Unmute, Renee. There you go.
Thank you, Holly. Yes, I'm not very techie. Sorry. So Holly is correct. So I did see some mutual friends, and so I did start with the collagen. Being in the aesthetic business, my first instinct was, okay, I want to see. I saw the before and after pictures, so I'm like, okay, I have to see if this is real. Because like she said, we see, so it's a multi-billion dollar business. So we see so much out there. So I tried it for 90 days. I did not tell anyone, not one of my clients. It was only myself and my husband and Holly and Sherry. Those are the only people that knew that I was doing this. But I had clients start commenting on my skin and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I can't tell you right now. I'm trying something new and I'll let you know later. And so that is how that part started. It was from an aesthetic standpoint. And so as far as the Pro Tandem, because I did order both of the products, in 2019, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which in my industry is pretty debilitating considering the fact that I use my hands every day, all day. What my clients did not know was in between doing services, I think Donna is on here and she's an esthetician, she's going to relate. I was literally icing my hands and saying a prayer to be able to make it through my next client. So I'm on this Protandim, I'm on the collagen, and I want to get off of my medication. It's actually methotrexate, which is chemotherapy medication. So I start cutting my medicine back to see if this Protandim thing is real or not. And been able to sustain it. It's not a cure for rheumatoid arthritis, but it has definitely helped me be able to work. I can almost keep up with the young ones now. So
So Renee, I keep thinking back to the first meeting. Holly truly kind of in this particular situation got out of her way, and we've been working with patients, right? Holly and I keep saying that we're working on patients, we're working on the patients, but I felt like we really did this right. When we met with you, she brought me in as a third party. She calls me and says, can you meet our newest consultant? Or no, Renee, I don't even think you were yeah, you were a consultant, or did you upgrade? I don't even think you upgraded. Yeah, I think we were meeting to
yeah.
talk to you about, okay. We did not throw up on you. We met you where you were at, and you were so open, but you had very specific things you asked Holly. And I don't know if you remember, but I'm going to share them with everyone. So you said, I am loving what I'm feeling. I'm going to give it another 6 weeks, and then I would love to have an event. Now, you live 2.5 hours from Holly and I, okay? I want you to set the stage for everyone because you and Holly worked behind the scenes. I just was the girl that showed up, right? So you showed up at Suzanne's for an event that we had. What was it? Oh shoot, it was like an
In
hour and a half long
January.
event on Saturday. Holly was so upset that it ran over, and you rode with me on the way home. She picked you up on the way there, and you were like, I get it, Sherry. I know why you and Holly are so excited. And we ended up talking on the way home. And the one thing you said to me was, okay, I think I'm ready, but I really do not want you guys selling to any of my patients. I just want you to share your story. So we kind of set the stage this way. So share with everyone how you were able to get 25 appointments in 15-minute increments and how you had the 3 rooms set up. How did you even do that? And then I'll come in after you share that and kind of give Holly an opportunity to chime in.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but I did share with you, I do an open house event twice a year. I do it in January and I do it either in June or July. It is by appointment. I do 15-minute increments. I set up 3 different treatment rooms and I offer different services. It's discount I usually actually charge my patients to reserve their spot, and you can't see everybody in a day. So we do 15-minute increments. That way, it gives each person the individual attention, and if they want to talk about a private matter, then they have that free space. They have that safe space. Even if it's only about aesthetics, even if they're talking about Botox, they're talking about fillers, they're talking about microneedling. Some people don't want everybody to know what they're doing. It's private. And I have been to events where it was just kind of a free for all. So I came up with this probably a couple of years ago, but when I came to you guys and asked, I'm like, can you please come? And you both did, and it was great. And you had 15 minutes with each one of my clients, and it's a timed appointment. It's just as if you were seeing them that day for a service. Does that answer your question?
Yes. And then, sorry, my battery was dying. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, so you basically had a list of everybody that was showing up. And then
Yeah,
you had Holly and I in one room. Okay.
yeah.
And we did not do anything other than ask. We came up with the two questions. You were okay with it. And here's the questions. Tell me if it rings a bell, everyone. If you could change anything about your health today, what would that be? They answered the question. And then the next question was, what are you doing or what have you done to address that root cause? And they would talk. And Holly and I began to share our stories. And we shared our stories with everyone. And here's the funny thing, the first person that came in the room, I was like, so I had your phone, I had Renee's phone. And I said, okay, so this is what Renee's taking based on what you're saying. Holly and I would recommend, we only recommended either one stack or two products. We did not recommend a lot. And everyone was like, no, we want to order right now. Well, after like the third one, Holly and I were like, is this even happening right now? But it was happening because you set the stage for us. And then, Holly, I want you to chime in here. What did we do during Renee's lunch hour? How did we utilize the 8 hours or the 6 hours that we were there?
So I do want to, I mean, because Renee, you set the stage, and because you've built this practice, successful practice over, 2 or more decades, that your people, your clients just were like, I know Renee, she does her due diligence. If she knows it's good, then I trust her. And literally they were like throwing their credit cards at us. It was wild. And then I even afterwards, because I'm really passionate about, I want people to feel comfortable about what they're buying. And sometimes after events, people, it's like impulse buying. Then all of a sudden they're like, what did I do? So I checked in with people afterwards. I had a nice email. I sent voice notes to make sure that everybody was comfortable. And then, we had some time for a lunch and learn in a lull in the day. So we used that time with, she invited some other people that couldn't come for the appointments. And then she also had some other estheticians that were there. And then from that lunch and learn, Lucy came for the lunch and learn. And Lucy just upgraded a couple weeks ago, and we just had an event at her place where that's another call in itself. But I just think it really stems down to the relationship and the trust that you built.
And and I want to add, because I do this before any event that I ever participate in, and I asked Holly and I asked Sherry and everybody that was there. I had a massage therapist. I always open in prayer. I always ask for God's direction for us to be able to help the people that show up that day, no matter what it is, whether it was health, whether it was an aesthetic question, whatever. I asked for his guidance. And we did the same thing at Lucy's event too, and it went crazy. So
So good.
100%.
So good. Yep.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
add one other thing is that I've been literally, as my business was kind of, stagnant, I was really praying to have somebody come into my life and Renee has been a blessing. But what's interesting is that when we met, originally to have her upgrade, I was like, I know you from somewhere. And she lived in South Miami. That's where I lived. And I've been in Palm City for 10 years. And I'm like, I know you from somewhere. You just are so familiar. And turns out I used to do presentations in a doctor's office 15 years ago, and she ran the med spa. And now she just moved recently. Now she's 5 minutes from me. So it's like, that's
Full
such
circle.
an
Yeah.
answer from
Divine
that.
intervention for sure.
100.
God wink.
Yeah. And Holly mentioned about Lucy. So here Lucy is, right? You guys know I've been building my business in my network outside of my home. So I've been doing networking events. I have one tomorrow. I try to do 2 or 3 a week. And it doesn't matter what business you own. Most of the time, it's going to somewhat have a lull, right? Even if it's a personal thing going on in your life, it does affect your business. I tell people all the time, if the four walls of your home are not in a good place, it will trickle down to your business, right? And Lucy did exactly what Renee did. We didn't add Renee to a bunch of group chats. We didn't even tell her about our Tuesday calls because we were trying to figure all that out. And she didn't really want to do the business. So we were like matching her energy, meeting her where she was. But what I love about this is Lucy did exactly what Renee did. She had 15 people, I think, in her place. You guys saw the videos that we posted. It was beautiful. But this is what duplication is, okay? It's not reinventing the wheel. It's not overthinking, overloading people with science so that we feel like we're smart enough to be talking in front of people, because I guarantee you, people are not listening to the science. They just don't. I mean, that's why they don't ask their doctor, well, what's in this pharmaceutical that you're giving me, right? They trust their doctor, and they're at a point in their lives where they want a solution. And that's our job. Our job is to get them there. So I'm just really excited that you were so open, Renee, to this, because it's really helped Holly and I. And I just want to say that you've inspired Holly and myself to really slow down and allow people to come on and do this business when it's the right time for them, right? Um, so I want to kind of bring it back to relationships. At the end of the day, this business is about relationships. I never knew Renee, right? Renee didn't, I mean, obviously she knew of Holly, but we didn't know when we all connected. So whether you're building belly to belly or social media or a little bit of both, people want to know that you care. They do not care how much you know until they know that you, is that right? They care, something like that. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So, and it's been a long time since we've been doing this. So the fact that we've had two consultants in corporate reaching out to Holly and I, Victor's like, who's Renee? And the next month, hey, who's Lucy? And I'm like, oh, hi, corporate. It's so nice to hear from you. But it's because they're like, what's this activity? So before we close it, I just want to throw it out to Holly. I just love this business. I love our company. I love what we represent. We are hope dealers. I say it all the time. We're solving people's problems. And so I will show up every day and do this business. And I know, Holly, you feel the same way. So do you have anything you want to leave, or Renee, do you have anything you want to say before we wrap up
I
our
just
call?
want to add one more thing, to give Renee a shout out, because again, she didn't come on board because of the money. It was more about the solution. And then, I truly believe that if you lead with love and you're doing things the right way from your heart, from your soul, from authenticity, then the money follows. And I just happened to log into, because I was like, well, Renee has been, getting all these customers. I know her volume's up, and we have these retain, contests going on. So I just happened to log into her back office, and she is one of six in the entire company, and she's on her way to, we're hoping that she can get to that 1,500. But she's gotten two bonuses of these retain tracks that they're having this contest for January, February, March. She didn't even know it. And I just happened to call her, and I'm like, you just made an extra $1,000 that she didn't know that she made because she just led with her heart. So
Mhm.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I really
But
appreciate you saying yes.
I would say I could not have done any of this without Holly and Sherry, without you taking the time. You've gone to South Florida now twice. And I'm sure if I asked you again, you would do it again. None of this would have happened without the two of you. None of it would have happened.
Thank you, Renee. Appreciate you, girl.
Mm.
So I hope this helps people. You can build it anyway. Like I said, just figure out again, right? We all have a purpose here and figure out what feels good to you. And that is when you know that you're on the right path to building this business. If you're waking up every day and you're like, I'm not happy, this is not working for me. Well, it was when you said yes. So go back to the day that you said yes to this business and really figure out where your life is. If you're in the same spot, then we need to look at what you're doing to build this business because this industry does work, okay? But you have to work it. And if your mouth is closed, your business is closed. So with that, I am just going to say happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone and stay tuned. We'll get back in touch with you guys to let you know kind of what's coming down the pike. I'm super excited about it. Chrissy, do you have anything you want to say before we end? You good? All right, guys. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
great night.
Thank
you.
you.
That was awesome, you guys. Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you.
Really
Really
good.
great. Thank you.
Have a good night.